held back Rodri. My man went down lightly. That's 4 penalties in 4 games. And the same old stuff ain't nothing changed. Ten Hag made a sub, yeah, he made a change. But when he made a sub, it just went the same. Cause United conceded yet again. And the whole midfield went down in flames. Rasmus held back Rodri. My man went down lightly. That's 4 penalties in 4 games. And the same old stuff ain't nothing changed. Ten Hag made a sub, yeah, he made a change. But when he made a sub, it just went the same. Cause United conceded yet again. And the whole midfield went down in flames. Yo, this is the OT99 Banter, where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Firms. And look, what can I say, bro? It's not like I'm surprised with this result. Manchester United lose 3-0 against Manchester City. Man United at home. I think people thought that Man United being at home may be able to create some sort of illusion that we're going to take anything from this game. Look, Manchester United this season has been totally diabolical. It's nothing like last season. Man United at home last season had a record. We're a fortress. This season, there's nothing to say that we're going to step up when we're playing against big teams. There's nothing to say that. We ain't seen no evidence of it. We ain't seen no evidence at home that we can step up to the plate. We ain't seen nothing. You understand? All we've seen is Man United struggle against the minute teams, the mid-table teams, and also any top team. We get blown away. Now I say this already, I said it before in previous games. Look, if we're up against better opposition, you understand, we'll be getting smoked. And this is a clear indication of how Manchester United will be performing if we're up against teams of the echelon of Manchester City. You understand? Man United is nowhere near ready. Like, it is totally terrible. It is sad watching Manchester United play football. That it's been how many years since Ferguson's left and we still ain't got it correct. We still ain't got it right. We're like happy, that we've grinded over the line versus Copenhagen. It took a heroic save from Onana to get us through that. Well, we're happy for teams like Brentford. 1 goal lead, last gasp effort to get me, like heroics. That's what's getting us over the line. We're struggling to cross that line to get a W. It's not good enough. These teams should be getting blown away. This is Manchester United. We spent tons and tons of money, almost £1 billion. And what have we got to show for it? No style of play. Players like Evans and Maguire, no disrespect to them, man, but they're in our defence. Like, and Maguire, to be honest, like today, he had a good game. I can't lie, he had a good game. He held it down. He did what he's doing. And like I said, like him, he didn't really put a foot wrong too tough. Like, you understand? Collectively as a team, we played terrible though. You understand? We played terrible. Like, how are we giving Haaland an opportunity right in the box where he got a header on it and Onana made a fine save, cleared it out the way. But then in the second half, he gets the same opportunity like he did in the first half. Carbon copy. Bernardo Silva whips that ball in. Nobody's looking around. Like, Man United is always guilty for doing this. We don't look over the shoulder to see the dangers and sniff the dangers around us in the box. We're too busy focusing on the man with the ball or focusing on the nearest guy to them. Like, nobody's like, I don't know, because 1 minute we're doing man marking, next minute it's a zonal thing in the box. I just don't understand. Haaland, of all people, anyone would say, mind Haaland in that box. Forget about everyone else. If a ball's coming in the box and being whipped in, focus on Haaland. Focus on Haaland. And you know what? Maguire, as the best header in the team in those type of scenarios, be on Haaland. Haaland was left unmarked twice. That is criminal. And obviously the second time, like, you ain't going to stop Haaland. You ain't going to stop him too many. You give him that many chances, he's going to put it away. Like, Haaland could have got a hat-trick potentially today if it wasn't for Onana. Onana pulled off some fine saves, you know, Foden, like I said, with Haaland and a few other saves. But you know what? It's like, without Onana's saves, it could have been a different scoreline, even worse, for one. But two, also, what I would say with Onana as well, even though he's doing better, I would say, because, you know, before any shot will go in the net, it's a goal conceded. But with Onana, what I've noticed about Onana is his saves are not like, they don't give you confidence. Like, he kind of he flaps at it a bit. Do you know what I mean? So he'll make the save, but then the ball will land anyway. He doesn't push it out to safety. Do you know what I mean? He kind of saves it, but the ball could still be in danger. You know, like David De Gea, when he makes that save, he gets a firm hand on it and sort of pushes it to the left or pushes it far to the right. And it's totally clear. I feel like as a goalkeeper, when you're making a save, if you're not grabbing that ball or you're knocking it out to safety, if you're going to do the dive thing or whatever it is like that, there's one part: stopping the ball from going in the net, A, and B is pushing that ball out of danger. And Onana, at times, you know, it led to one of the goals where he made that fine save, but then for one of the shots, I can't remember, I think it was it Rodri or someone smashed it from outside of the box, and then or the edge of the box or somewhere like that. Onana makes a save, but pushes it out to Haaland. Haaland now gets that ball, feeds it to Foden, who gets his goal. Do you know what I mean? And it's that sort of thing. Like, when you're making a save, make sure like it's a proper save. You're pushing it well out of the way from any danger. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to be too critical on Onana because he has been doing better over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of games, should I say, compared to previous. But it's just terrible. Like, Man United start this game, we had about 5-6 minutes of, you know, decent football where we was not attacking, like we was dominant. Then outside of that, we just got pressured. We couldn't get outside of our box. We really couldn't go outside of our half even, sorry. Like, it's just not good enough for a whole team like Man United. We were on the back foot the whole game. City schooled us the whole game. You understand? Like, we had the midfield of McTominay, Amrabat, and then Eriksen. And I can understand why Eriksen played, you know, that creative spark. Bruno got pushed up to the right. Man United fans don't want to see that, but I could understand for City. I can understand what Erik ten Hag wanted to do by bringing in the additional midfielder. Do you understand? He wanted Amrabat, Scott McTominay. He's been doing what he's on decent form, and then you got Eriksen, that creator, especially in Casemiro's absence. He wanted to pack out that midfield as well, while still having Bruno, because he just never wants to drop Bruno, Erik ten Hag. And in a way, you could see it in a sense where Bruno's one of those guys who will have a complete 99% of the game. It'll be totally trash, but it'll, you know, one moment in a game, moments FC, he'll get a shot off or get an assist, and then, you know, he gets you back into the game. And when Man United are lacking creativity and lacking goal scorers, he's almost forced in a way to play Bruno Fernandes. He's almost forced in a way to do that. Even though some may feel, you know, I don't want to see him playing, or I don't want to see him playing to the right. He's forced to play him because we just ain't producing enough. From Rashford, we ain't producing enough. From Anthony, we ain't producing enough. From our wide forwards, they're not producing enough. So therefore, we're stuck with this situation that we're facing. Do you understand? So look, I thought that when I was watching the game, like I said, I thought that we, you know, it was looking nicely balanced. We're on the front foot. I was thinking, Erik ten Hag may have got it right. All goes downhill, man. All go down. And when we conceded that goal, by the way, and this is annoying as well, because like, we were in the game. You understand? We were in the game. Rasmus Højlund, yeah. And to be honest, that was a soft pen. I don't care what nobody says, because even just behind Rasmus Højlund when he was doing his thing, Harry Maguire was all over John Stones. All over John Stones. And this is the tussling that you see in the box. And Harry Maguire's one even looked worse if you watch the replay back than what Rasmus Højlund's did. But it's just like, why is it that the referee goals gets called, look at the screen monitor, give a foul away for that? And I understand, like, by the rules of the book, you know, it is what it is, but the consistency in that setup there is not consistent, because you'll see a game probably in the same match week or next week where you're going to see that and it just gets overlooked and a penalty don't get called. That sort of thing there. It wasn't like an aggressive tug or none of that. I don't even think he would have got to the ball, man. But it's one of those ones, like, we're conceding pens. It feels like every game or every other game. How many penalties is that now? Like 4 penalties? We're just conceding pens. Like, where's the discipline? Where is the discipline? Like, guys are just not learning. Do you understand? They're not learning, bro. Like Rasmus Højlund, you know, my man got caught on the wrong side of him, and then he has to do that to try and get back a bit of leverage and an advantage, and it causes a pen. Like, we see in situations where guys lose their cool, lose their head. You saw Anthony come on just for a split moment. He lost his head. He could have potentially got a red. Do you understand? He didn't look happy. Like, it's just one of those things, and it's a repeating cycle of how Man United play, man. You don't know what you're going to get, but what you do see is quick transitions where they're trying to get from midfield or defense to attack. the opposition getting most of the possession. We do get a couple of chances in the game, whether it be half chances or proper chances. And we saw it with Scott McTominay, where he had that hard drilled shot in the box that forced the save. We saw it with Rashford and a volley. Do you know what I mean? We saw it with Rasmus Højlund, where he was running in on goal, sort of showed good strength and speed. Do you know what I mean? And the last, final third bit, last touch, he took like a heavy touch. He overran it. And it's just like, these are things that Manchester United are like, we slack, because I know City done that poor ball where we capitalised, won that ball back, it created the chance. But opposition will be finishing that off. Manchester United, we don't finish these chances off. We get these chances. You don't go and get these chances against City and not convert. Manchester United has got a big issue with converting chances that they get. Whether it be a half chance, whether it be a full chance, we don't convert enough. Rashford's only got one Premier League goal. Like, Rasmus Højlund's just been brought in as that guy that's not the ready-made article. Like, what is going on with our forward line? Anthony is convert again. Like, it's just like, there's so much going wrong. Last season, our defense was solid. Martinez, Shaw, Varane, and Dalot / Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It was compensating for a lot of the mistakes they were making because they were on smoke. The defense is non-existent. We got Lindelof playing at fullback position. No sign of Varane. He comes and then he goes. Luke Shaw's still on his way back to rehabilitation. Same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Martinez, I'm not sure when he's coming back. Maybe after the Christmas break or whatever. That is already a big issue. And then in the midfield, right? No Casemiro, who was our bedrock for Manchester United last season. He's a myth, even though he's got off to a bad start this season. He was our bedrock last season. And Christian Eriksen, that partnership, that's something that you kind of like build on. We don't even have that to fall back on because they're all injured. I know Erik ten Hag said, let me bring him out and let me try this 2 8s thing or 2 number 10s thing and 1 DM. But he can't even fall back on what was getting him through last season. They ain't there. And that style of football that Manchester United playing is just, it's not going to lead us anywhere. If we're not converting the chances that we're getting, the little chances that we get in the pockets of these games, what is the point doing this whole rock and roll football? I keep saying it. We need to be focusing on making sure that we've got solid, like, positional awareness. You understand? Make sure that bro, we need to get back to the basics, bro. Like, for us to be trying to do all of this tiki-taka thing, we need to get back to the basics. Like, it is long. And I know Erik ten Hag, right? He took off Amrabat. I don't know if it was because Amrabat got a yellow card or he saw an injury, or if it was actually a tactical decision because he wanted to get back in the game. And I think he did say that, he wanted he got attacking options on a bench and he wanted to bring them on. But, like Gary Neville and Carragher was saying after, giving their match analysis, I felt like he'd done that substitution too early. Like, this is a guy that last season that was making substitutions and it was impacting the game. Now he's making substitutions and they're just getting weaker. Like, Amrabat gave us stability. Look, with all of the good football that City were playing, really and truly, we did it like we was holding it down. Like I said, we conceded a goal from a penny. The minute you take off Amrabat in the second half, bro, it was all just one-sided. Do you know what I mean? And we just looked fragile. Really looked fragile. If there's any learning that I learned from this game, is that partnership of Scott McTominay and Amrabat should remain. It really should remain, man. Like, I just don't understand like what's going on with Manchester United. I really don't understand, man. And it's like every manager as well. Like, I'm so annoyed like talking about Erik ten Hag in a way, because it's just skimming the surface of what's wrong with Manchester United. There's just so much wrong with Manchester United from top to bottom, and it's just like, it's almost a bit of naivety. I know people say, oh, the Glazers ain't got nothing to do with what's going on the pitch and stuff like that. But like, Gary Neville also posed the question like, look, these managers, like, why is it that when managers come, they get dwarfed, they get absorbed into the moistness of Manchester United and they just underperform? Like, Man United have had decorated managers from LVG to Mourinho, and they've all left and been consumed by this club. They can't get it right. Why? That is the question. Why? You've seen Postecoglou Doglu or whatever go to Tottenham. Get it right. You know what I mean? We've seen guys go and get it right. Manchester United, manager upon manager upon manager, they fail. They have 12 months at best or 18 months max, and then they fail. And that has to say something about, you have to look deeper now what's going on in the club. I can't keep now saying, oh, sack the manager. Yeah, his tactics are wrong. Look, Erik ten Hag's tactics, his substitution and his decision making, I don't understand them. But I can't sit here and say, oh, if we bring in a new manager, things are going to look great and everything's going to be hunky-dory. We might improve a little bit, but I still feel like Manchester United is going to face the same blockages down the line after the 12 and 18 months. And we're going to be having the same story about a different tactical issue rather than what we're experiencing with Erik ten Hag. And that's my big issue. I'm tired of all of this short-term planning. I want a longer-term thing. And right about now, pause by the way, and right about now, it's just too haphazard at Manchester United all over the pitch. And this is why people keep talking about the Glazers, because at the end of the day, okay, you got Erik ten Hag in a job. Erik ten Hag, you're the ones who brought him in. Richard Arnold and them man there brought him in. They're the ones that identified him and said, yeah, bring him in. They're the ones that gave Erik ten Hag the money to spend on these players. And they're obviously, Erik ten Hag has veto rights, but their men are also jointly agreeing on the board to say, yeah, this is the player that we're going to spend money on. These men are the same ones that have got their scouting team. And if Erik ten Hag, whoever's not listening to the scouting team, what are we doing about that? Because what's the point of having one of the biggest scouting teams in the world, but not utilizing their resources? The recruitment is not good. The scouting, I don't know if they're good or not. They're not being utilized, but I know the recruitment is not good. The tactical setup is not good. But what I have to say about all of this stuff is, if you sack Erik ten Hag tomorrow, is it going to improve Manchester United long term? Look, the history says no. The history says no. Like Mourinho's one of the most decorated, like Ancelotti, Mourinho, decorated managers. Come to Manchester United. I'm seeing, articles come out now, little quotes about Casemiro not being happy. He's surprised about how Man United is run. Like, if that's true, I'm not surprised. Mourinho said it. LVG says it. Like, everyone's saying it about this club. That's like, you don't get success long term with a club run like Manchester United. So I struggle to be looking at these short-term things with Manchester United on the pitch when we ain't addressing the key thing. The key thing is getting rid of these Glazers and just getting them out of the club so we can have the people best in class managing this club and putting the right managers in place, putting the right scouting systems in place, putting right decision makers in place, because it all trickles down. Now, at the end of the day, the decisions that happen up top is why Erik ten Hag is here today. The decisions that happen up top is why we've got the players still here today and why we've acquired the new players that we have at our club today. Look, the decision makers at City brought in Pep Guardiola. And as a result of that, Pep Guardiola is doing the right tactics, the right coaching, bringing in the right players along with his scouting team. Like, it leads back ultimately the accountability, and the buck lies with these men. Erik ten Hag, the buck lies with him on the pitch. But you can only get so much out of Erik ten Hag when he's at a certain level. And I'm not saying that he's like, not capable for the job, but I'm just saying like if you've got a Lamborghini racing a Ford Fiesta, you can only get so much usage out of the Ford Fiesta and so much capacity out of that Ford Fiesta, and that being the manager. You ain't going to get that Ford Fiesta operating to the same level as the Lamborghini. So we can all go at the Ford Fiesta and say, oh yeah, you made these crap substitutions or tactically dead or this and that. But at the end of the day, it can only do what it can do. And this is where the decision makers at the top need to be like, okay, look, this is the direction I'm trying to go in. And this is the person who I believe is going to take me there, get me to the promised land. And we've been having madness all throughout because we've been going from different styles to different styles. And this is what I'm saying, like with City, when they change managers, they're going to have a particular profile of managers. They follow that system. Brighton, you can see as well, following that setup. Manchester United, we've gone from defensive style with Mourinho to now Oli going gung-ho. And then obviously you've got this now tactical whiz in Erik ten Hag. Like David Moyes, I just don't know what that was. I think they were trying to follow this whole heritage thing with or Scottish thing with Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, What is our, and then they all talk about all this DNA. What is the DNA? Yes, it's winning, but what is our style of football? We ain't got one. We're bouncing around from one style to the other, acquiring all of these legacy players that we can't get rid of. And we ain't got no sense of identity. We don't have a style of play. Now, Erik ten Hag's just another guy that's come in, brought in his own style and his own setup, which Manchester United are looking at and thinking, what is this? He will go and another manager will come that's probably even different to Erik ten Hag, bringing in his own style. Now, if Manchester United as a club, deep-rooted, have a style of football that's ingrained in the club as a culture, we'll be going for specific managers where I can at least see a theme. I can at least see a theme. Like, if Atletico Madrid was to get rid of Diego Simeone, I wouldn't expect them to go and get a Postecoglou or whatever his name is. I wouldn't expect it. Like, if that's been bringing them success or whatever, I won't expect them to go and get a total opposite from Diego Simeone. Do you understand? Like, it's just like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand this team. It's weird, man. I don't understand this team. And this is why you can see the confusion on the pitch, because you've got guys that can keep ball and play ball like your Ericssons, and then you've got Brunos that just want to get rid of the ball. You know what I mean? You've got like confusion. You've got the Kobe Mainies, and then you've got the Scott McTominays. You've got Sancho's. It's just a mixture. It's just a mixture of mess. Whereas if I look at other teams like City, like I said, you can see every player has a profile. Every player, you can see why Pep bought that player. You can see how he fits into the setup. Look, I thought I knew why we was buying Mount, but Mount is struggling to get game time. What's going on there? I thought we was going to do this whole, okay, you know what? We had Bruno doing that whole up and down thing. He had the lungs for days. Mount is a similar profile in that sense as well. He's going to be doing that, but he's not even implementing that. He tried it a few times and then he got ran over, and then it's like he's abandoned it. That doesn't strike anyone with confidence and assurance that he knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? That being Erik ten Hag. So look, I'm not surprised that we lost this game. Do you understand? I'm not surprised. It potentially could have been more. I really ain't surprised. But it's just upsetting when you look at Manchester United and you know, it's a derby at the end of the day. We're at home. You want to see some fight. You want to see something. You understand? We can't even get a goal at home, bro. It's sad, bro. And we spent all of this money, and this is what we've got to show for it. This is what we've got to show for it. It's a circus. No matter how you look at it, it's a circus happening at Manchester United. It's a circus. And Chelsea's probably going to get their act together before Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? We had a head start with Fergie. We were supposed to go through that rut and then come out on top. Do you understand? Arsenal started later than us. Tottenham started later than us. Chelsea got their act together. Now they're on the dip. And they're sure they're going to get their act together. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's getting their act together, bar us. And I don't understand what is going on. Do you understand? And if that don't tell you that something in the culture of this club needs to change, I don't know what else. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be happening because Glazers are still here. Like, Mourinho was more than enough to get success at Manchester United. He was more than enough, but he didn't. Do you know what I mean? And any person can name any manager in the world, any manager, even if it's Pep, Zidane, he name it. Come to Manchester United, they're going to struggle. And then what we're going to say? What are we going to say? What are we going to say? What are we going to say? I don't know. Because that's what will happen. They will struggle. They will struggle until there's a unification, until when everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet, until when there's proper direction. Football guys with football brains managing this club. Someone said it. Is it Gary Neville who said, look, Man United hasn't had a director of football for 10 years. Well, that probably the only club that don't have a director of football. Man United's trying to do this whole I want to be different thing. Where's that got us? We just lost out in many years. We're thinking that we're all high and mighty. We want to be unique. What has that gotten us? Get your director of football. That's just one example of why we're just a mess. People's moving on, leaving us behind, bro. We're thinking that we're all high and mighty, trying to move differently. And look what it's gotten us. Nothing. And that's just the thing about Manchester United, man. You don't know what you're going to get. Literally, don't matter what team you play with Manchester United. I don't know what's going to show. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what the result is going to be. I don't know how we're going to perform. yeah, we're gonna perform dead. But you know what I mean? I don't know if we're gonna get the W or not. That is not a good place. It's not a good place to be in, man, as a supporter. You know what I mean? It's not a good place to be in, man. And we find ourselves here. We literally find ourselves here, man. It's stress, man. It's stress. And I don't even know what to say, man. Look, Nana, man, he conceded 3, but he was one of the man of the matches, even with Maguire as well. One of the man of the matches. Shout out to Amrabat. And I shouldn't even be doing man of the matches, but it's crazy. Look, we got Newcastle next, EFL Cup. You know, have you got any expectations of that? Have you got any hopes for that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't say I do. I know it's a cup game, but Newcastle's going to want to avenge that final. They're going to come out strong. What are we going to do? You know what I mean? Newcastle's playing good football. So we need to, you know, our next Premier League game is Fulham. You know, they drew with Brighton. They've shown that they've got a bit of steel. We need to try and bounce back and do our clutch football again. You know, do our clutch football until we can get it together. And hopefully, you know, guys like Kobe Mainoo can come into the fold, give us something a little bit different. Hopefully we start to get injured players back in the team. And then we can go on from there. We need Luke Shaw. We need Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We need Kobe Mainoo. We need all of these guys. We just need something different, bro. We need something different, man. And right now, it's just the same old, boy. Same old. But let me know your thoughts, man. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash the like button, man. Until next time. Peace.